Dan Reichert.
Yes, Alex Navarro.
You like professional wrestling.
I do.
I like professional wrestling sometimes.
Yeah, it's good sometimes.
I have my days.
Yeah.
So you have probably over the last year heard me talk a whole lot of game about Fire Pro Wrestling World.
I have, and I've gotten some glimpses into it on various streams and quick looks and stuff in the past year plus.
Yes.
So yes, I know you are quite enthusiastic about it.
I am. I'm especially enthusiastic about the PC version, which was out in early access last year, came to final release in December of last year, 1.0 at least. And then they announced they were doing this PS4 version, which is the version that we are going to quick look today. And along with that would come the New Japan Pro Wrestling official license.
Right.
So this is the first time a Fire Pro game has used like actual licensed wrestlers. Before it was all about, guys that kind of looked like the dudes but it's not really.
Right.
And so I'm going to get some stuff out of the way up front before we jump into the actual game. Some gripes I have, some things I want to clarify.
Okay.
The PC version of Fire Pro Wrestling World right now is $30 on Steam.
Correct.
That is a decent price, I think, especially for what that game offers in terms of depth. I think that is good. The PS4 version by itself, I believe, is $50.
Okay, so base game, $50.
It's either 50 or 60, one of the two.
Disc and digital? Do they have a disc version?
I think there is a disc version. I think they're doing a limited run of it, and it is basically a full price game.
Okay.
If you were to buy the version with the season pass on the PlayStation 4 store, it is $90. If you were to buy the season pass separate from the main game, that season pass alone is $50.
That seems excessive.
It is. And I'm not saying that because I don't think that there is value in this game, that there is depth here, that this is a game that I have come back to repeatedly on PC and I've enjoyed playing on PS4. But just to clarify, the season pass includes some additional story content. It involves the junior heavyweights. It includes the manager mode, which I believe is their booker mode that lets you book
GM
shows,
type thing.
GM type stuff. Yes, and some other things down the road. This is an insane pricing model for what this game is. And I have a lot of affection for it. I think this is a damn good wrestling game, especially as an alternative to the WWE churn.
Yes.
But I am mystified by this. It feels very much like they ran into this New Japan deal, and somewhere along the way, someone said, hey, this PS4 version has to come out in August, come hell or high water, so drop everything, which they did. They have not updated the PC version in quite a while. And also, we cannot have a budget product associated with our name.
That seems really unfortunate because in 2018, there are not many options at all if you want to play a good professional wrestling game.
Agreed.
Especially coming from WWE. Those games are garbage. So I would love for there to be a good pro wrestling game like this, but asking that much money for this product seems like a lot.
Like, that is a straight-up misstep.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, I want to temper this a little bit by saying I do like this game a lot. I have enjoyed the hell out of it. I think the PS4 version is solid. It's it doesn't run quite as well as the PC version, but I think it is generally very solid. And I think when it's a little cheaper, it's something people should absolutely look into.
Okay.
So with that said, let's get into what is actually here. So this, the PS4 version comes with the core New Japan content. The main thing that is a part of that, other than having something like 60 wrestlers from the main roster, is this Fighting Road mode, which is a new story thing that is essentially a visual novel told from the perspective of a newcomer to the New Japan roster.
This is the one that you're posting pictures of, like, dating Naito.
Yeah, more or less. Like, there's no actual dating game element to this.
It looks like a dating game.
But you are essentially befriending various people from the New Japan roster, and there is, let's just say, it is dripping with sexual tension, whether it's intended or not.
Let's see it.
So this, I'm just going to run through a quick match here. Early on, you go through the process of what it's like to be a rookie. You start out in the Young Lions, you're kind of training with Yuji Nagata and Super Strong Machine, and then eventually you go on for an excursion, which is to the fake wrestling league that came with the game as a base game. It's like just all made up dudes, which is pretty funny. And then over the course of the career, you're going through the New Japan Cup, the G1, all that fun stuff. And it seems like it's kind of playing out the story of last year in New Japan, so it's kind of following some of the same story beats.
Does this have the arenas and stuff for like Wrestle Kingdom and Dominion? I saw it had the logo and everything.
I don't believe it has any officially licensed arenas, but it has
Okay.
like basic versions that are sort of like riffs on ones that you would have seen.
So it's like a version of the Tokyo Dome, but they don't call it the Tokyo Dome.
Exactly,
Okay.
and there's a version of it that sort of looks like the big arena in Mexico where like all the top Lucha Libre events happen, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So here, I believe right now,
NJWP.
yeah, there's a few typos also in here.
Okay.
It happens.
Okay.
I am the never open weight champion right now, and I think I'm about to have my first title defense.
Okay.
At this show, and let's see who I'm up against here. I think I'm up against Minora Suzuki, Murder Grandpa.
I'll say this is really good music.
Yes, there are some good jams in this game.
I like this a lot.
This is also the music you hear through about 80% of this mode.
Oh, hello.
Togi Makabe is my friend.
Okay.
He's one of the first veterans that I teamed up with in this story.
Great.
He's generally been a cool dude.
Suzuki is a scary man.
Yes.
I have only in the last year and a half started dipping my toe a little bit into New Japan stuff. And Suzuki is a guy that the first time you see him, you kind of get an idea of what that character is.
Yes.
And
he is the living embodiment of that tweet that's like, please stop praying for my grandpa. He has become too strong. He is destroying everything.
Yeah, he's a real Heihachi.
Yes, absolutely. He is very much a Heihachi figure, and he rules. He is so good at being that monster.
Also, I love these changing facial expressions and poses and everything. This is great.
There's a few guys you can tell they did not get for the photo shoot, but by and large, there's a lot of good emoting from the various wrestlers you meet.
So is Cody in this?
No, Cody is so there's very few of the American guys in it.
Okay.
The Bullet Club, the members that are included are Kenny and the Tongans.
Okay, no bucks?
No bucks.
Okay.
I think some of them are coming with the junior heavyweight DLC. Like Liger isn't in the game, but he will be with that DLC.
Gotcha.
And of course, there are a million versions of them for download if you don't want to wait.
Can you be Haku?
I mean, you could download Haku, probably.
All right.
Yeah, he's the one Tongan that is not included, but you could definitely download Haku.
That's the thing, is anybody that don't have in this already,
Yes.
you can still play as them.
Absolutely.
Really lovingly created versions.
We'll get into the creation stuff momentarily. I just kind of want to get through one match here, kind of show you what this mode is like. So every character that sort of exists as a principal in the story mode gets this introduction. They sort of give you some highlights of who they are, what their character is, which is really smart, especially for American audiences that maybe don't watch the product regularly.
Yeah.
It's a good introduction to who they are and sort of what the alignments are. Taichi is one of those dudes that has very much come into his own in 2018. I was kind of bummed he wasn't in the G1. I feel like he's about ready to graduate to that level.
Is he in Suzuki Gun?
Yes, he's sort of the right-hand dude.
Okay.
I mean, I guess El Desperado tends to come to the ring with Suzuki more often, but Taichi is sort of the other big sort of heavy of that group.
Okay.
And Zack Sabre Jr. has become a big part of that as well.
Oh, okay. I think the first Suzuki match I saw, was against Omega, and just seeing Omega sell how terrifying Suzuki was.
He's just for a dude who is pushing 50, he is still he is putting on great matches on a regular basis. Like 80% of his G1 output was really solid.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The crowd roaring in excitement.
And these photo shoots.
Yep, it's so good. I actually really like this mode a lot. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Only a few of the early matches sort of play around with objectives and you have to meet to sort of kind of pass.
Yeah.
But by and large, most of it is just about meeting all these characters and just wrestling a bunch of matches.
I only kind of like the objective stuff in story modes when it's around the time they did WWE 13 and 14 when it was very historical, where it's okay, you're playing this WrestleMania match or this classic Attitude Era match. You got to do the table spot that's famous here.
Exactly.
You got to do this thing. And I get that. It's all right, we're recreating these moments in history.
They also got a little up their own ass with that stuff over time. It got to a point where it felt like the mode was almost playing itself.
Yeah, and there were some where it's you have to lose. It's Chris Jericho lost this match historically by DQ, so you should hit the road dog with this chair. And
totally.
That's not fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But this is, like I said, this is a pretty good, first tour through the New Japan ranks. And, I think the story, while not overly interesting or complicated, is a good rookie to riches story.
Okay. This is you on the right?
Yes. So one thing I will say about this particular version of the game, and this is something I actually didn't notice when I first got the review build, is that this has gotten a little framier. Like, you notice how everything's kind of moving a little bit slower?
Yeah, I did notice that even from, like, when we... Maybe I'm seeing things, but when we played with Jack Gallagher,
yeah,
I
it wasn't doing
that.
So here's what I think happened. They put out a day one patch, and I think it maybe runs slightly worse since that patch.
Seems like a bad patch.
My guess is they will fix that. But they fixed some other things. There were some crash bugs that have stopped happening, which is good.
All right.
My guess is they will fix that sometime in the near future.
I think it's a bad idea to release patches that make a game run worse.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir here, my man.
It seems like it goes against the idea of what a patch should be.
I agree. Now, again, it doesn't chug, like, it's pretty consistent the whole way through, but it's something I noticed immediately when that patch came through.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like it affects the play or anything.
No, it
but,
doesn't. The timing is the same. It's basically the same. But that is another annoying thing that I noticed. All right, so we're going to beat up Suzuki here, and we're going to defend our open weight championship. The Never Open Weight Championship, I believe, is essentially their equivalent of the NXT Championship that eventually just turned into the TV Championship.
Oh, okay.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
They sort of played around with their own version of NXT at one point, and then I think they stopped doing that.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I gotta say what you will about WWE, I like that they have preserved the sanctity of the squared circle canvas. I'm not big on the
ads
logos
everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it bothers me less just because I'm kind of used to it. But,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't impact my enjoyment, but like if I could choose between the two, I like just the normal canvas.
I did like it though when they signed the Fire Pro deal. They did a bunch of fake logos on the ring that mirrored the old Fire Pro games, like their fake versions of it. Like I thought that was pretty funny.
It's always a novelty too when you'll see like Tekken logos on a ring, like video game stuff.
Yep. Come on, get up. Nope.
Red Shoes.
Yeah, Red Shoes is in there. I think Tiger Hattori might also be in there. I could be wrong. Those, I believe, are the only licensed referees, though. But I've already downloaded Charles Robinson, as one does.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You can create referees. You can create belts. You can create, like, canvas designs for your rings and all that fun stuff. And I think belts are the only ones that aren't downloadable. Everything else is.
Do they have, like, does it go as deep as, like, oh, we've got, like, a Jack Doan referee, or is it, like, Mike Chioda, like, these big ones? Like,
I think you can make anyone. At one point, fucking Chris Hansen was a referee that I downloaded for the PC version. So,
Datelines to Catch a Predator?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one.
Wow.
Yeah, he's your ref.
All right, sure.
People do wild shit with these games, man.
I'm into it. So, how do you do the stuff when they're on the ground? Because I playing on that stream, I know the square, X, circle, light, medium, heavy thing.
Yes.
But how does that translate to, like, submission type stuff?
So one of the key differences between this and other types of wrestling games is that there is no universal version of that. So, like, basically, you still use the 3 attack buttons when someone is on the ground, but you assign what those things do. And they can do anything from submission holds to strikes to pins.
Are they dependent on whether you're by the head or the legs?
It's by the head or the legs and face up or face down.
Gotcha.
And it's the same with off the ropes or off the top rope attacks. Like you can assign ones that are like guy has to be standing or guy has to be sitting down. It's all kind of bundled together that way, and it's ultimately up to you to design which attacks do which.
Gotcha. And Red Shoes needs to chill out.
Yeah, no, he's a very active referee. He's
staying out of the way,
making sure that everything goes according to plan. I've definitely knocked him out a few times during matches inadvertently, and I apologize to Red Shoe for my transgressions.
Wasn't that was it his son that Jericho was beating up during that Omega match?
Is that his son?
I thought I heard that Red Shoes had a son, and wasn't Jericho beating him up, being like, "Look at your son, Red Shoes."
You might be right about that. I might have missed that detail in that match.
It sounds like a Jericho thing.
Yeah, totally. Someone made a very good version of Dumpy Crow Jericho that I downloaded yesterday.
Those images. I never saw that match, but oh my god.
Oh, it's so good.
That outfit. The match is good?
The match is good, yes.
Okay. I'm way into the idea of Jericho just doing whatever the fuck he wants now. He's talking about going to TNA now.
He's still Intercontinental Champion, isn't he?
I believe he is.
For New Japan?
I believe he is.
90% sure he is 100% their Intercontinental Champion.
I don't think
their Brock Lesnar.
God. I don't think he has signed anything with Impact, but he is just openly talking about yeah, I would totally be up for doing that. I'm still a WWE lifer, but I can just kind of do whatever I want.
Yep.
He's earned it.
Totally.
And that was kind of his thing coming in, is hey, hell, he's WWE, WCW, ECW, Japan, Mexico, Germany. He is kind of that, what do you call it, the journeyman that's been everywhere.
He can go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah.
That is his right as a Canadian.
Yes. Good for him. He's great.
All right, let's try going off the top rope. Nope.
Yep.
Suzuki is not going to cooperate. All right, come on, man. Come on. Let's finish this. I got to defend my title.
I always feel this weird guilt as a wrestling fan that I don't watch more Japanese wrestling than I do. Because like every time I do, which is typically like Wrestle Kingdom, you know, if there's like a standout G1 match, Dominion match, something like that, I will check it out on New Japan World. But like, especially like historically, like, you know, I've heard you bring up legends a million times that like I haven't heard of. And as big of a wrestling fan as I am, like I feel weird guilt over not knowing some of this stuff.
I mean, one of the problems is that the tape libraries for a lot of that old Japanese stuff are not as readily available as like, because New Japan hasn't gone and bought up like a million tape libraries the way that WWE has.
Yeah.
So like if you want to go check out the classic like All Japan stuff and like the Pro Wrestling Noah stuff and whatnot, I think some of that stuff might be available on those companies' existing tape like streaming services, but I don't know if anyone actually subscribes to those. I don't.
Gotcha.
I don't know like what amount of that stuff is available there.
Okay.
New Japan has most of their history on New Japan World, but not everything.
Gotcha.
So you know, it's a little hard to dig through that stuff. There's also a ton of Japanese indies. You know, like finding those tapes is somewhat difficult as well. It's not. It's sometimes it's just hard to find that shit.
Right.
But that said, you know, the current crop of New Japan stuff is great. And if you're looking for other stuff, I think Stardom is a really great league.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, is one of the top women's leagues in the world, and they are super good. DDT, you know, they're a comedy group, but they do reliably good stuff. I haven't watched
Shikara type thing.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's where like Ibushi and Omega like started the Golden Lovers. You know, it's where a lot of that stuff got started. I don't know what they're doing these days, but like a lot of their old stuff is pretty great.
Okay.
And you know, there's lots of other stuff to look around for as well, but finding it can be a pain because there is so many different leagues.
Yeah. It seems less accessible than like, especially growing up just having cable and like WCW and WWF were on all the time.
Exactly.
Like, I was very much trained to like that being the wrestling I like, which is very. I love a great match. Obviously, that is what wrestling is at its core. But I think I was so drawn to the kind of carnival, goofy storyline, like the WWE product of wrestling.
Right.
I've been trained to like that. Whereas I feel like Japan is much heavier on the in-ring product.
Right. And that is true. I mean, there is story that's being told, but it's being told mostly through like press conferences. You know, there isn't a lot of mic time dedicated during the shows, which is a different thing.
It's presented more as a sport than it is here, which is like this crazy Vince McMahon vision of what wrestling is.
But you still get plenty of drama from those press conferences and other things, you know. I think it's just a different presentation.
Yeah, like I love this stuff when like, you know, Kenny had that press conference and Jericho attacked him and all that, and some of the like Cody promos he's done have been great.
Yep. All right, come on, die. Oh, he just won't go down. All right, this is it. I'm done fucking around with you. Just die. Just die, Grandpa. Go to your grave, Grandpa. Go to your wrestling grave. Nope.
What's the pin button, by the way?
So for my guy, I have it set to a specific pin mechanic.
Okay.
I think there is a separate pin button. I don't remember what it is, but because I've been playing this for so long. But I also have like a couple of moves that just automatically go into pins.
Okay.
Come on, just go down. Just go down. Just go down. How many times do I have to drop you on your fucking head, Grandpa?
He's a tough guy.
No.
There you go.
Also, he'll just stay here if I don't hit any buttons.
Just staring at his butt.
Yep. And I can attack him afterward, but I'm an honorable wrestler. I won't do that.
Oh, man. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Gotta be a heel.
So after each match, you can essentially dump points into your character. There's a bunch of different like training exercises you can do. Title defense! Look at that. Look at that fanfare.
Mm-hmm. This is a very wrestly screen. We've got metal. We've got flames.
Yep.
The versus animation there is real good.
Yep.
All right, good.
All right, so I think I can do the training. Oh, no, wait, here we go. I've joined the main unit, which is sort of the unaffiliated group of main wrestlers that are not in Chaos or Suzuki Gun or Los Ignobernables, which I always mispronounce.
It seems like they are huge on factions.
They are. And the way that factions work there is much more, like, it's not... Like, they treat it very much like these are the guys you train with. You're allied with them, and you work with them, and, like, so to a degree, your wrestling style starts to mimic these other guys to a certain extent.
Gotcha.
But it's not as much about like the sort of gang warfare notion that a lot of like American wrestling stables tend to work with.
We're the guys that say "suck it."
Yeah, exactly.
We do the too sweet. Well, I guess that's in Japan too.
Yes, but it's it's almost parody there with the Bullet Club stuff.
Yeah. Well, because they were even doing like DX stuff. Like when I first saw Bullet Club, they were doing a lot of suck it stuff, and it was like a parody of American wrestling.
Yes,
it seemed.
American bad guys.
Yeah. God, this music. This reminds me of some like side story Yakuza music.
Definitely. Yeah, it's very jammy that way.
I like it.
Some highlights from this old. This is not the one where Omega won the title. This is the one where they went to like the 60-minute draw, I believe.
Ah, that was a good one. Is that the second one?
Third, I think.
Third? Okay, and the fourth one's the one where Omega won it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw those. Those were just incredible fucking
That
matches.
fourth match, I still say, is straight up one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable. Those guys work together. It's like a Sean and Brett type thing, you know? Okada's dropkick is just...
It's a thing of beauty, man.
Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
Just an absolute thing of beauty.
You think Omega and the Bucks are coming to WWE within the next 6 months or so?
No.
No? You don't think we'll see him WrestleMania weekend?
They would have to throw an ungodly amount of money at them, and it's not that I don't think they will. It's that I think it's really going to depend on how badly New Japan wants to keep them. Like, if they're willing to give them, so this is the training stuff I was talking about. You can also edit your wrestler here if you want to go and change your moveset, play around with some other settings. You can do that.
Gotcha.
The only thing you can't program here that's different from the main creation mode is there's no AI programming here because it doesn't matter. You're just playing as this character the whole time.
Gotcha.
But that's one of the key things about these Fire Pro games, that the AI is generally very good and very programmable.
Oh, cool.
So when you edit stuff, you can program all sorts of different tendencies to your wrestler. Like, they go for this type of move in this kind of situation, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to use any of those points right now because we're going to get out of this mode. But
so you can make like Zack Saber's AI be like, just constantly do submissions.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Like in like a Toru Yano, like, hey, you lean on cheating tactics and going for quick pins constantly. That sort of thing.
Cool.
So that's this mode. Again, it seems very long. I assumed. I think that when you start it over, you can join other factions, but even just the main story mode, like, I've been playing this for at least a dozen hours, if not longer, and I still
12.9%.
Yeah, and I think I'll get to like 33% in the main first playthrough or something close to that.
Gotcha.
But like I said, there's other ones where you can join the other factions, and I think it tells basically the same story just from different perspectives.
Gotcha.
Yes, so we're gonna head out of there. Real quick, let's get into the creation stuff, because this is slightly different than it is on PC, where they're relying on Steam Workshop for everything.
And so this is not sharing a pool with that by any means?
No, it is using a separate pool of stuff. It is, again, is a very detailed edit mode where you can go in and make anyone you want using a pretty, I'd say, robust amount of stuff.
Okay.
But if you want to go online and check out other people's creations, you can either go to their website directly from a computer, FirePro Wrestling. I forget what the exact URL is, but it's like firepro-w.net or something like that.
Okay.
You go there, you can look through everyone's PlayStation creations. And you can also go, firepro-w.com. And you can also go to that website through here. Huh. And then what you do is you just kind of set this, go to item list, and it just sort of sorts everything by most recent upload.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
By the way, quick aside.
Yes.
Are you aware of what's going on with Becky
am.
Lynch? It's fucking great, and she is killing it, and I'm so happy for her.
Exceedingly overdue is what I would say.
She is absolutely killing it. Best thing going on right now.
Totally. So yeah, like you said, when I was playing this primarily, it was only Japanese people uploading stuff because the game's been out in Japan for a couple weeks. Now Americans have it. We are starting to get some other stuff. I will say that sorting stuff right now is a little bit of a mess.
Yeah.
You can get the core website in English, but if someone uploads a creation in Japanese, they are not searchable as anything other than the Japanese name.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you pretty much have to hope that someone put an English tag in there somewhere if you want to find it. But now that Americans are playing it, and I assume Europeans, if it's coming out there, you will be able to find stuff in other languages as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's all you have to do. Like, you go in here, you download. From here, from the main mode, you can just uninstall anything you subscribe to or publish your own stuff from here as well.
Cool.
It's not perfect, but it is, a decent solution that it feels like they kind of put together in about 9 months.
Okay.
And it's a good, robust creation mode. Now, the main game, if you're not doing the story stuff, you just want to play, it's all the basic stuff you would want. Online play is there. Offline, you can do any kind of regular match up to teams of 4, I think. Tournament, League is the sort of G1 style tournament, Battle Royale mode. And the mission mode is just sort of like it's an overblown tutorial, but it's useful if you want to learn how to play the game.
Okay, it's not a create a story mode.
No, it's not.
Okay.
And then obviously you can do MMA style matches, you can do hardcore style matches, and that's pretty much it. There's no ladder matches because they don't really do ladder matches in Japan.
Right.
But everything else is pretty much there. Why don't you and I? What do you want to do? What would you like to play, Dan?
Is a cage deathmatch? Is that just a pin submission inside a cage?
I think we can set the rules that way.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, let's do a cage deathmatch.
I'd be fine with making escape a win condition as well.
Okay, let's check the settings here. Win condition is escape.
Okay. Do you know the escape mechanic?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, let's just do 3 count. We'll do normal.
There we go.
2 count? Weird.
I don't know what the hell that is. We won't do CPU because we're going to play. Rope, we'll turn it off because it's a cage match. Who gives a shit?
Like rope break?
Yeah, rope break. And let's do that.
Cut play?
That I don't know. That might have been like, hey, can you bust someone open or something like, whoops.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Okay, I'll do blue side.
Okay.
Just going through the roster here real quick. So, like I said, most of the major names from New Japan, most of the ones that aren't there are light heavyweights, which I assume are coming with the DLC. The only big name that I can think of that isn't that's a heavyweight that's not here is Jay White.
Oh, okay.
But pretty much everyone else, and Cody and some of the other Bullet Club guys aren't here.
It wasn't Jay White. Didn't he just kind of recently resurface there
yes,
with the Switchblade stuff? So maybe they didn't get him in time.
Yeah, but they've got everyone kind of broken out by the different stables and teams and whatnot. And then also I have downloaded a million different guys. Again, a lot of these names are in Japanese, but you can hopefully pick out who some of them are. Let's see. I want to do someone created.
Is that Bull Nakano?
That is Bull Nakano.
Nice.
I downloaded a bunch of people recently. Let's go to the bottom of the list, see who I got. Yeah, here's a bunch of the people that have come up since the US has had access to this.
So are there female wrestlers in this, or are people just is it all the same? Do you pick a gender or anything, or is it
I think you can wrestle as anyone versus anyone. There's not really any restrictions on that stuff as far as I know.
Well, I mean, in creation, or when they do Bailey and stuff, you can pick female and everything.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yes. I think I just saw Doey Jericho, and I'm gonna be Doey Jericho if I can find him again. It's one of these, I think.
Undisputed Era, those guys have been doing some really good stuff.
Yes, they have. There he is.
NXT's awesome. Oh my god, that is Doey Jericho. Holy shit.
I think this has multiple types of Jericho. Let's see. There's the regular.
This is modern New Japan Jericho, it seems. Yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna be Fake Crow Jericho. Oh, what the hell? Why did this turn into a team match?
I think that's probably... I see Scott Steiner.
You know what? I'm gonna back out real quick.
Okay.
Just gonna... I think we hit a button and something weird happened, so I'm just gonna do this again.
Sure thing.
And I know who I'm looking for this time anyway.
How do you clear it out? Oh, delete all entries. Triangle.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Cage deathmatch. Wait, why is this CP? Forgot I have to switch it to one player. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to be edits test. Go to the back. It was this one. Yes. All right. There we go.
Okay. And I move over here.
Yep. You select that.
Get it? All right. 2. And then I want to go to WWE.
They're just all mixed in here. I don't have a set W. I haven't set stables yet.
Gotcha. I just want to see some of these creations here. Yep. Samoa Joe has been great lately too, by the way.
Oh, Samoa Joe is always great.
He's always great, but he's just especially awesome right now with this AJ feud.
And that's pretty good Samoa Joe, I think.
It is, yeah. So is this modern? Yep, that's chest tattoo Steiner. Okay.
Yep.
Does Alistair look? Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at some of these guys right now.
That's a very good
That's
Alistair.
a really good Alistair, yeah. Pretty good Owen. Hello, Miz. Miz has been great lately.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good stuff going on right now. Well, maybe I'll just be, this is Triple H. Yeah, okay, that's modern Triple H. I'll be that.
That looks about right. Let's see what the other costumes look like.
We have DX Triple H. No, it's all Modern
Solid Paper
business.
Series. Just modern business.
Yep, that's business. Okay, I'm going to be business, Triple H.
All right, sweet. And let me just double check, make sure our settings kept. Yes, they did.
Gonna have a WrestleMania 18 rematch. It's a shame Rock Hogan went on right before this match we're about to have.
Yep. All right, let's do it. Let's have our match.
All right. Yeah, I think it's been a very rough year for wrestling in general, but this kind of SummerSlam weekend and the things that have happened afterwards have been very interesting and better than you would have expected based on the rest of the year.
It sounds like
Again, the Becky stuff, some of the Brian Miz stuff has been good. It's been solid.
I am glad, and it's. I've been hoping the ship would get righted at some point, and it seems like it has. So, at least to a degree.
And NXT is really firing on all cylinders. I kind of fell out of NXT for a while when it was like the Rude Championship era, like Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre Championship era.
Right.
It's just everyone got called up, and it was just like it was not as good as I remember it being. But now it is firing on all cylinders again.
That Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane match is something that I would recommend everybody watch.
Super good. Like they're both great. That was my favorite match of TakeOver.
By far.
Yeah, that sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little kind of juicy. Oh, yeah. Good lariat. You seem to have the timing mostly down.
I'm starting to get it after a few times playing this. How excited are you for Triple H versus The Undertaker? Last time ever.
Are they doing that?
Oh yeah, they've been hyping it. It's not until like early October in Australia.
Oh, weird.
But they're doing the thing where it's like all these video packages of like, here's all these old guys talking about, who does Mick Foley think is going to win? Who does Ric Flair think is going to win? Here's Steve Austin. They're doing it for the last time ever.
Wow. Okay.
It's one of those big like Australia shows. It's like the Saudi Arabia thing, where it's just this big dome and they're trying to put together marquee matches. It's going to be a house show. But yeah, Triple H versus Taker.
All right, yeah. I mean, I don't want to watch an Undertaker match in 2018. It saddens me to say that as like a huge Undertaker mark when I was a kid. I can't watch him anymore. He should have stopped a while ago.
I will say that he was in real rough shape during that Roman Reigns match, his quote retirement. But the couple times I've seen him in the ring since then, he seems to be moving better. I saw him at Madison Square Garden. He had a match. It was like him and Strowman and Kevin Owens. I don't remember if I think it was a tag match. Oh, it was a 6-man tag. And he was moving around better than I expected. I don't think we're done seeing Undertaker matches for a few years.
That's sort of a shame.
I mean, he had that hip surgery. I mean, if it went well, maybe he could eke out some more performances.
It's not that I don't think he can. I question whether he should.
Oh, we probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that seems to be having trouble leaving. But also he's getting giant paydays every fucking time he does it, so. So if I do triangle, okay, so that is a whip. All right, got it. And then now if I grapple you when you're in the corner,
so you have to do a strong attack if you want to put a dude on the turnbuckle. Otherwise, it will just do a regular grapple move.
So if I want to like superplex you, I need to whip you into the corner.
You need to do a strong grapple, and then you need to also grapple me again when I'm up on the turnbuckle. Like it's a 2-step process for some of those more complicated moves.
Gotcha. Okay.
Punch you in the head.
Punch you in the head.
All right.
That wrestling works.
It's head punching.
Yeah, a lot of that in wrestling.
Yep.
Open fist, though. Open fist.
Yeah. Never a closed fist,
No.
unless it is a special move.
Yeah.
Man, you're getting me here. You've definitely got the flow of the match.
I think I'm starting to kind of get how this works. Hey, how do you pick people up from the mat?
Square when you're hovering over them.
Okay. No.
Nope.
Yeah, is there a reverse button or?
I usually just hit the X button or the square button, like at the time.
Okay.
That seems to usually do it.
Yeah, I could see myself getting into this. I have been kind of waiting for this PS4 version just because I tend to prefer, if it's not like a graphics-intensive game, I like to play on console with a controller.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pricing thing is concerning, I would say.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because it feels like they had really good momentum with this game.
Yeah.
Like, they announced the New Japan stuff. People were excited about that. But it feels like they had to compromise a lot to get that deal done.
Yeah.
And it has cooled a lot of that momentum between the pricing and just sort of like the radio silence on the PC version for a long time. Like, I get it. They had to fucking sprint to get this version out.
Right.
But that fucked a lot of things up, it feels like.
Yeah, like, I don't think I need to get the season pass stuff necessarily. I just kind of want access to the game and the creation stuff.
Yeah.
But even that, like, $50 is quite a bit.
Yeah, and look, I think it'll be on sale at some point, and that's probably, where a lot of people will find the entry point. The people who are buying it at this point, at this, for this price, are the hardcore idiots like me that will just want to play this no matter what.
Right. Don't tap Triple H.
Triple H would never tap. It's a sign of weakness.
He is tapped to...
no, it's never happened. It
no?
never happened.
That was redacted, I guess.
Yeah, no one in history has ever tapped unless they were weak.
Okay, all right, that's true.
That is the Vince McMahon way.
Yep, that's true. What if they tap while sneezing?
Well, that doesn't count.
Okay. Yeah. How do I go up top? Nope.
Yeah, and then any of the 3 attack buttons will do one of his moves.
All right. Vintage Triple H off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does.
Well-known high flyer.
Oh, yeah. I'll do a 450. I assume it's just mash buttons for pins and submissions.
Yeah, that's all I
out.
do is just mash buttons, and that seems to work well enough.
How do I, pedigree you?
So it's going to be one of his strong attacks. I don't know which one. That's the thing. There's no dedicated finisher button.
Gotcha.
It's just assigned to usually one of the strongest attacks.
Gotcha.
But it can also be assigned to a running attack. It can be assigned to a top rope move, anything you want.
Okay. All right. Finish! God. Scream finish?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of different voices you can assign to wrestlers, including some that are definitely recorded by the New Japan guys.
Oh, really?
I forget what the Kenny line is, but it's one of his signature ones, and you can tell he's just reading it very dramatically into a recording booth.
Nice. Triple H has a low blow strong attack. Just pedigree you. God, enough balls of Jericho. Do they have a Lion Tamer variant?
If there is, I don't know if he has it assigned to him.
I've always preferred the Lion Tamer.
It looks so much better.
It does. And he'll occasionally pull it out, but not often.
I do like that as sort of like the, hey, this is my super version of the move. I wish he did a little bit more of it, because at times it felt like he just never wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why. It doesn't feel like that would actually hurt all that more when doing it.
Yeah. It's just a Boston Crab otherwise.
It's just, yeah.
It's like an elevated Boston Crab.
And look, I love a good Boston Crab and everything, but come on now.
How do I pin?
I would say try any of the ground attack buttons and see if one of them does it.
Okay. God damn it. Oh, wait, we did 3 count, not escape, right? Okay, yeah. So wait, there's not a... Is there... I think gotta be a dedicated pin button, right?
I think there is. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
How are you winning matches?
Oh, okay, so R2 did it.
Okay. Jericho, you dick.
I was winning matches mostly just by using my character's dedicated pin functions.
Oh, right, okay.
Not by using a pin button.
Like you have a bunch of moves that go into pins, like bridging suplexes.
And if
stuff.
I'm being completely honest, to my level of nerddom here, most of the matches I've run with other wrestlers playing the game have been CPU versus CPU, because that's a big part of what you do in these games is just simulate other wrestlers. I am the Cage champion. I am the Crow.
Clean win over the game.
I'm a sad Canadian clown, and I am good at wrestling.
Shouldn't have worn a suit.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you know what? Check this out. Fuck you. I'm a heel.
Oh, Jericho,
I'm
you
a bad
dick.
heel. I'm a bad jerk heel.
I'm the cool boss. I gave you NXT. Cheer for me.
All right. Well, that, I think, in a nutshell, is what Fire Pro is. Again, it is, look, this is the same core game they put out on PC last year with the added New Japan flavoring. That stuff sounds like it will come to the PC version next month. But like I said, there are things about this that are just driving me up the wall, because at its core, I still think this is an extremely good wrestling game. I feel like they are maybe fucking this up a little bit, though.
From what I've seen, I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dan.
Thank you.